Okay, I got a bio report to do on my ecology. Let's take a look. 9.61 Earths? Oh, that's not good. Hmm. See here. I have, 900. Yeah, that's whatever. 100. Oh, 200. I waste one third of my food. That's crazy. No way. I got change. I can change that.
Okay, so here are my two solutions to fix my food waste problem.
I can either change my eating habits and expand my eating horizons and eat new different kinds of food, or I could build a bioreactor. So let's go over the pros and cons. So for the pros for a bioreactor, I can make renewable energy source and make valuable products like biogas and liquid fertilizer. Some cons, it's expensive, and the warming, it needs to be warm in the area, which isn't really Massachusetts. Now let's look at my changing my eating habits. So pros, less food waste. I mean, better CO2. So then cons would, I have to eat tomatoes and I'd have to eat eggs. I'm building a bioreactor. When food decomposes, it releases greenhouse gases like CO2 and methane. So if you're able to capture methane and stop it from going into the environment, you can, one of all, stop your greenhouse gas emissions into the environment, and then you can also use that methane as a fuel source to reduce some other carbon footprint, like your natural gas in your house. Here are my sources. I found it kind of interesting that some college students wrote their college dissertations on why they don't like tomatoes and eggs. By the way, I actually love chemistry, so I'm going to explain the chemistry of this bioreactor. So you have your carbs, fats, and proteins from your food, which is then decomposed by your bacteria into sugars, fatty acids, and amino acids. And then that's going to be further broken down into CO2, H2, and organic weak acids. And then that's going to be put back together to form methane, CO2, and hydrogen sulfide. Methane is the biogas that we want. CO2 is inert, and hydrogen sulfide is poisonous. We don't care about that one, though. Okay, so I did some calculations to estimate the amount of methane I can make. So just to kind of speculate, I'm going to do it as if I'm using one apple. One apple weighs, on the small size, of 150 grams. In one apple, there's 19 grams of sugar, but because our bioreactor can also break down proteins and other carbs, we're gonna times that by 3, let's say. That's even a low side. So 57 grams of sugar. This is very rough. That would be our main source of error. For every 1 mole of glucose sugar, you have this many grams, and so you're gonna end up having a certain amount of moles of glucose, and then for every 1 mole of glucose, you can get 3 moles of methane, according to this reaction. Then for every 1 mole of methane, you have 22.4 liters of gas, according to ideal gas law. And after running those calculations, we get 21.26 liters of methane, which is actually pretty good for one apple. Keep in mind, the chances that this whole thing breaks down is very low. I have an idea for pocket gas, right? So that's the term, right? So you're gonna get a water bottle, right? And you're gonna put your horse manure slurry into the bottom, throw in your waste products and waste food, and then you're gonna put a balloon onto that, right? And then the methane collected in that will theoretically fill up the balloon, and then you'll just be able to tie it off. I gotta get the manure, that bucket, a little bit into that bucket. It's really smelly, so I got a gas mask. Believe it or not, this is the safest thing I've done in this gas mask. Okay, so from my research, it looks like the reaction works with acetic acid. Yeah, acetic acid. So that's also the chemical name for vinegar. And then I am going to use some old leftover. That looks disgusting. Why not some detritus of this? And then we will add some vinegar. So I'm just. I don't think it shouldn't kill the bacteria. I switched out that vinegar solution for a solution of cranberry sauce from Thanksgiving, old rotting grapes, and an old apple, because I was too scared the vinegar would have killed the bacteria. Okay, I got the food, my leftovers, and I'm gonna pour it into our generator. It smells pretty bad. I'm gonna put the cap on, then I'm gonna wash it off with the hose. Okay, now I'm gonna put a balloon on it now that it's clean. Sorry, just a little bit more manure on it. Okay, go quick. I got a heating pad, and I'm gonna put it under the generator. Okay, I'm gonna tie it off now. I don't have any like infrastructure to really use the gas in my house, so that would be like the next step that I could go after. But just to prove that it's flammable and that I made the right thing, I'm gonna light it off inside my fume hood that I made for safety. That's cool. So this is just obviously just a proof of concept, and if I wanted to go further, I could plug it into like a gas system or a camp cooking stove, and I could use it in that to maybe cook some food and stuff. But yeah. Okay, let's look back at my sheet. I now hypothetically don't waste any of my food, so that's 0. And I compost my vegetables, so that's -20. And then over here, like all my gas from my gas stove would not be used. I just replaced that with having a second refrigerator because there's nothing about having gas. And so once I plugged this all in, it went from 9.6 to 8.85, which is actually like a whole Earth.